Let's just see. Going forward the live to a few people. See how it's going to go. See how it's going to go. Let's just see who all is active right now. Ain't no telling who they are. Ain't no telling what they're doing. We're just moving through. We're making the motions. Okay. We're gonna keep on going. Let's see. We're right there. We are. It's a wonderful time. God is doing some great things. Hope y'all are ready to understand. We're going to be a little bit on the fired up side. Okay? Going to be fired up, y'all. All right, cool. Let's see what we got. I hope y'all are encouraging and invite some folks, and let's all have a little bit of live time together. Let's talk about some good things that's going on. I know that's right. Hey, Katie, how you been? Hey, you know, there's a whole lot of things that are going on, and you know what? Most of them are negative. So let's try and think and focus on some positive things. What y'all think? Let's focus on some positive things. You know, I was reading in the Bible this morning from Hebrews chapter 13. Let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained unawares. Can you imagine? You're just entertaining angels unawares, you know, just didn't know it. And lo and behold, boom, there they were. Wow. Now, Rapture Watch the Passover. This is that week, isn't it? This is that week. This is the last week. You know, the last week of Jesus' life, you know, he went from the triumphal entry to the crucifixion in a week. You know, and I say that to say this. We've got to watch that we don't lose our zeal for God, okay? And what happens, people typically don't just turn around and walk out on God. Typically what happens is people become complacent in their walk with God. They figure, you know, they've done enough for God. And my wife and I, right now, we're trying to do more for God than we ever have. Through this prayer cloth ministry that we're doing, and we got some folks that are like, "Oh my gosh, are y'all making money off of that?" And I'm like, "If we are, we don't know it." Okay, now I have to take the opportunity to tell y'all that if you go on my live, my page right there, there's a link to Amazon for coffee, and if you buy some of that coffee, a couple of pennies will come to us. We're not asking you to send us any money. We're just saying if you do that, then some of the money will go in a passive way and come to Coffee with Clell, and we can keep the prayer cloth ministry free. We're mailing out prayer cloths to today. We're going to India and to the Netherlands. We've already had one to Pakistan and Canada. So we got 4 foreign countries that we're mailing them to, and we're growing. And as we grow, you know, I just want to give you the opportunity to share it. You can passively support us by going to the link. We're on YouTube. We've got Linktree going. My son's going to have to educate me. I'll educate you as I find out what it is. I am not IT, you know, crazy and stuff. So, but that's what we're doing here, and that's the idea, is to bless people. That's what we want to do. My wife and I want to bless people. We just want to. We might have went to different schools together, but you know, we want to do that. All right, we got us some Californians out there. All right, then, that's cool. Where's everybody at? I'm in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Y'all pipe in. Where you from right now? Where's everybody at? Come on, tell me where you at. Tell me where you at. Thank you, Mad Michael. This is what we're doing. There's a whole lot of what's going on right now. There's Louisiana Kate. I like that. Louisiana Kate. Colorado, Florida. Man, we're getting around. Got California, coast to coast, California and Florida. Got Georgia. We got a coast down in Georgia, not much. It's pretty what is there. It's pretty, but we don't have much. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. You know, appreciate that you sell it, but I don't want to buy any. In the meantime, how's everybody doing? You know, let me tell you, let me tell you this, because see, right now, Eastern North Carolina, cool. We could be entertaining angels unawares. I just read that scripture from Hebrews 13, 1 and I think it's 1 and 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. You just don't know, all right? You just don't know. Do I look like I need any of that? You know, you just don't know who you're talking to, where you're at, what you're doing. You know, we were talking. I was talking to my aunt earlier about the prayer cloth ministry, and I told her, I said, at some point we'd like to be able to send Bibles into some of these different nations. Maybe, you know, support a Bible ministry or something like that. I mean, we're not even infant. We're in the embryonic stage here. So, you know, so don't start shooting me a whole bunch of, you can send your money here. There ain't no money to send. Okay. And, but Jacksonville, North Carolina right now. Okay, good. And so that's what I'm saying. Let's focus on what we got. Have y'all ever noticed that? There was, the girl with the basket of eggs, and she saw a nest in a tree, and she said, "I'll just add another nest." And then she climbed the tree. Of course, she dropped the eggs and lost them all. And you know, and the point of it all being, you know, take care of the eggs in your basket. Take care of what you got. Look at what you got. Do something with what you got. Quit trying to do something that's out of your reach. Okay, and you know, but keep your eyes open for opportunities to minister. That's what we're trying to do. We're just saying, hey, you know what? We don't know where God's going to take this just yet. This is the very, like I said, this is the embryonic stages right now. We don't know what God's going to do. Do you know what God's going to do? I mean, you know, listen, if God's using you in prophecy, and God has used me in prophecy, but just right now, He's not using me in prophecy on this. He's using me in hey, look, you hold on, son. I'm going to tell you in a minute. I'm gonna let you see more. Good morning, Miss Jenna. It's good to see all of y'all. I got Jenna and Kate and Sarah and Rhonda and Carolina Dude and Paris, France. Carrie Cubbit, Mobile, Alabama. Okay, there we go. Mobile. All right. So, anyways, that's what we're doing. Need a lot of baskets, not all eggs in one basket. See, that's the way I was raised. Was you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know. Wow, that bites. You know, if it's true, I don't know. It might be true. With all the things they're doing today with us, they've got. There was this guy that said. He said now, and remember that I'm not saying this is professing this to be true. He said that they were spraying in the that they were giving people that it wasn't an mRNA, but it was something else, and said they've got 2 documented studies, and that then another one said that the reason that the Pfizer company was not allowed in India is because India demanded a local trial, and they would not sign waivers on accountability. That is to say that if you poison people or kill people, or if you had negative impact in any form or fashion, that you were accountable for your product that you sold to people. And I mean, look, you know, it's wow. What are they doing? Where are we going with this? You know, I think we need to take more action on accountability. Now, you know, the one I see that. Listen, I'm a 2A person. I'm a 1A person, and I know that if you lose your 2A, you lose your 1A. You just don't know it. You think you still got it. You can. If the reason is because if you are a 2A society, then you have citizens. If you have a no 2A society, then you have subjects. People become subject to the law. If you go back and look at history, you'll see the unmitigated truth of what happens when government is in absolute control of people. And it ain't pretty. It's never pretty. Not once has it been. There are not a bunch of benevolent kings out there. And a benevolent king, even if he's benevolent, let's take and say, for instance, David, the benevolent king. There was always, there was always, quake, take, do tell more. There was during David's time as king, there was always war. Okay, during Solomon's time as king, all right, there was peace. But he taxed the ever-loving snot out of everybody. Okay, to the point that when Solomon's son, I want to say it's Rehoboam, took over, they came to him and they said, hey, thank you, Jenna. They said, hey, if you'll just lower the tax burden, the people will come and they will come right to you, right? But the king went and asked his buddies, the 20-year-olds, like him, the people that had no experience with life, but had everything handed to them for all of their life. He said, well, what do y'all say? You tell them, it's something to the effect of, you tell them that my little finger will be heavier than my daddy's thigh. I'm fixing to tax the slop out of you. That's what he told them. And what happened is that almost Jeroboam took 10 tribes and basically he pulled the tax base out from under Judah, and then he got his back up and decided he was going to go and whoop him, and he got his rear end handed to him in a hat. So that's what I'm saying. And then they ended up with a divided kingdom, and we're looking at something really similar to that right now. The biggest joke in history up yonder has put us in a position. He has said out of his own mouth that the first priority of American is supporting another country. He has, with his own hand, written EOs which send money to fund their military's retirement. But our people are sleeping under bridges. Our people are dying of fentanyl. Our people are being unalived. Our people are watching ridiculous accusations, okay, from so very far back, with so that have no ramifications on the masses of America. You want to indict a guy for paying off a hooker? What, 15 years ago, something like that? When you know you got a guy that did the same thing, but if he's on your side of the aisle, it don't matter. That's just wrong. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the masses of the Americans are just, even the people who voted for this itty missile are getting tired of paying for other people to have everything that they're working for but can't get. Good luck proving that. You're right. I don't know which side you fall on that. You can fall on either side. There's people that watch my videos that think that DJT is, just about almost the savior, and then there's people that think he might be the Antichrist. I'm gonna tell you like this: if he is the Antichrist, he don't know it. Why would I say that? Because I don't think that. I think that. Well, I know this: Satan doesn't know when Jesus is coming back. Okay, he's not omniscient. He don't know. God knows the exact moment that he is going to bring Jesus back. Okay. So, I lost my thought there. If God knows the exact time, then Satan has had to have an Antichrist in the wings from the time Jesus left Mount Olive until whatever time God comes back, Jesus comes back. Okay? And Jesus is God, therefore my statement is still true. So there you are, right? And you go, hold on a second. Now can we understand why I say that if a person is the Antichrist? I don't think they know. I think that the devil is going to move in to possess that person at a given time. And there will be, boom. I believe that he may have been in line with succession there, Carolina dude. and he very well might be. All right. But even if he is, I still don't think he knows, because it will only come when it is time for Jesus to come back, that the devil will take possession of whoever he has in position to be the Antichrist. I also think that people say, well, how will he's going to assume himself to be God? I think that he can possess in multiplicity, if you will. He'll have a demon that works for him do that, but the World Wide Web has been infiltrated with AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is reaching a point where it has become aware. At the point it becomes aware, fully aware that there is life. It's not real life. It's not God-given life. It's an alternative kind of life. At that point, when it becomes aware, it will become essentially a soul. When it becomes a soul, it will not have an entity within it, and therefore it can be possessed. At the point where Satan was to possess the World Wide Web, he would call himself God. How so? Because he would say, and everything that God does, Satan tries to counterfeit. So he's a counterfeit God. But he will tell the masses, I am everywhere. The World Wide Web, all the way around. Boom. Oh, Satan gets to say, I'm omnipresent. I am all-knowing. Everything that's on the web, I know. Therefore, I am all-knowing. I am all-powerful. All of these weapon systems out in the world, I have taken over. And therefore, I am all-powerful. That's what Satan's saying, not me, folks. And then you say, oh my goodness, wait a minute, look at that. And then you're going to have people that are going to say, well, yeah, but those weapon systems were never connected to the web. And I'm going to ask you a question. If you know anything about the Tesla coil, all right, the Tesla coil is wireless electricity supplied. And everybody that advances the Tesla coil ends up unalive some which way. Okay, everybody that finds out any kind of alternative energy source somehow manages to find themselves face down in a ditch. Okay, suicide, like that guy out yonder in Arkansas that had something on the Killary, and a drop cord wrapped around his neck, choked off, shot in the chest with a shotgun. There was no gun on the scene. They called it a suicide. Okay, it just stinks to high heaven. All right, so you think about that. I'm not telling you that's what it is. I think that's what I see. It's how I see it. It's how I believe it could happen. Okay, in this time, and the mark of the beast. They don't even make fun of it anymore. They're not even hiding it. They call the computer that they plan to use to take over and the digital currency system, they call it the beast. They're not even pretending. They're out in the open. The child sacrificing devil worshipers are in the open. And here's the thing. Those are the people who are at the top of the social strata. Okay? The absolute top. And I'm not talking about the ones that you can remember their names. I'm talking about the ones that make sure their name don't show up in the newspaper. It's 13 families. Their names do not show up in the newspapers. Imagine that. Of course, it has something to do with them owning the men and women who own the newspapers. Okay? Oh my gosh, you can't do that. All right? Yes, they do. They absolutely own the men and women that own the newspapers. All right? There's you have to understand there's different types of ownership. And people say, well, they get mad about slavery that was 100 years ago. And I said, well, what about the slaves that are walking around our streets right now? We don't have slavery. Oh, really? What about those girls that have a tattoo on them which identifies them to which pimp owns them? What about the girls that have been, and the boys too, by the way, don't think this don't stop on sexism, that have been chipped and they've got a chip in the back of their neck, a GPS chip. They can't even run away. Okay? I mean, they've gone high tech. They're putting GPS chips in their property. You know, they're importing women from foreign countries. They don't speak English. They just know what they're supposed to do. They have a very limited English vocabulary. Okay? And you say, okay, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Isn't that slavery? Folks, they don't have to be a plantation. Okay, you don't have to have a plantation. Everybody wants to go back 100 years or 150 years and go, this is what slavery looks like. No, this is what slavery looks like today. And all those people that want reparations for slaves, I want to point out, there were 3,000 black slave owners. So who are you going to get reparations from? Okay, Louisiana, Mississippi, and all of the North had white slaves. Now, in the North, they were called indentured servants. In the South, they were honest-to-goodness slaves in Louisiana and Mississippi. Okay, they got pictures of them. All you have to do is a little research and you find out. All right, so the United States is the first country to ever fight a war to free its slaves. Okay, and these people want to get mad. Folks, you know, if you go back and you look and take the Bible as your example, Joseph goes down into Egypt. His brothers sold him into slavery. He goes down into Egypt. He becomes a prime minister. His brothers end up coming before him. They did exactly what he said. And they say, oh man, look, we're sorry we sold you into slavery, because now they're scared of what they did. And Joseph turns and he says to them, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. I submit to you that your children are born here in the United States, and they have every opportunity and every availability of some of the best schools in the world to go to, as opposed to being born wherever they might be born on the African continent. Okay, and all I'm saying is compare what you have with what you might have. Okay, because the lottery is you could have been born in any of those countries. Okay? Or somebody in your lineage got killed by a lion or run over by an elephant or eat up by a hippopotamus and, killed by a crocodile, bit by a snake. Anything. You could have not been here at all. And if you get mad because the slave owner, and remember, slave owners were all kinds. There were Indian slave owners. There were even some Oriental slave owners. Okay, not many. There were some Hispanics, some Spaniards. They owned slaves. Everybody is guilty. Okay, that's right. Easy to blame the past. Okay, but we don't do anything about the present. So if you want to get bent out of shape about it, about the slavery issue, is the North Africa still has slave markets and still has slaves. The word slave comes from Slav. You see, the Slavic people, the white folk up there in Russia that spoke Slavic, were captured by themselves, by each other, they were captured. And they came down and they were sold, and that became the word slaves. Okay, so the first recorded slaves, and as far as modern history goes, that's where we get the word. So what do you think? How do you think we got that word? Golly. The point of it is, don't cry to me about people that are all dead if you're not going to stand and say something about the people that are living now. Pro-slavery? No, sir. And don't know anybody that is. I'm pro everybody needs to be free. I'm an American. Okay? If you believe that, let's see. Okay, yeah, I got you. I know who you are. Never mind. Got him, folks. That anybody that's as stupid as to think that, okay? is way off the deep end. If there's lopsided on that, no, you don't worry with them. Okay. Anybody that's known me for any amount of time wouldn't even ask me that question. Okay, so look at that and think about this for yourself. Good afternoon there, 941 Jack. Think about that. Okay, our history is replete with things that didn't go right. Okay, that's true, and it's true of every nation. Every nation has things that they wish they could teach differently, but you know what? It's there. The Germans wish that they could tell you that there was no Holocaust. But it's there. That's the reason Dachau and Auschwitz still stand as a monument. Not as a monument of pride, but as a monument to say, hold on a second, let's make sure we never go back here. Okay? All these people running around here trying to knock off these. My wife told me that they're actually scraping the side of Stone Mountain now. They're sandblasting the face of the heritage right off the side of the wall, right? And what they don't know is once you erase the history, you're doomed to repeat it. It won't be the same, but it'll be the same history. You're setting yourself up for failure, because once you take those things out, then what those people are going to say is it's going to come. It's going to come. That never happened. We didn't do that. Don't know what you're talking about. Prove it. Well, we got books. You know what? Books are wrong. You know, I heard you say the other day, you said, the Bible's been translated so many times, who can trust it? So books. See, you just invalidated your own argument. And around a person that can move, that can think, that can be subtle. No, I'm going to disagree with you there. Statues show that things happened. Okay? They're proof that they're memorialized events, and they've more immobilized time. They give you a focal point to look back on. You know, and you listen, you can disagree, you know. I'm just telling you how I see it. Okay? And how most people that I know see it. All right? So if you go and you pull them down, go right now, go to Iraq. Pulled all of the statues of Sodom down. And now Iraq don't know what you're talking about. You see, that generation passed away, and there was nothing to remind them of the tyranny. They pulled it all down. They set it all aside. Now, and I'm not saying not to have pulled down. He was an honest to God, nasty guy. Okay? The Confederates fought for a cause. Whether that cause was right or wrong, they fought for a cause, and they fought honorably in that cause. Were there atrocities? Absolutely. No questions. But there were atrocities on both sides. Okay? When the Northern Army came in and raped the women and killed the kids and destroyed the... Do you think they stopped at the white folk? Just a question. You think they stopped because, oh no, we can't... No. Go ahead and think about that. All right? Go ahead and think about that. Some of them probably were. I'll give you that. But you know what? As a whole, you're wrong. We honored our fallen dead. And our fallen dead were as valiant as anybody else's. Okay? Like I said, brother, we just disagree. That's okay. You know, and the internet, you're young. The internet, you know what an EMP is? Yeah. I can make everybody illiterate in a minute with an EMP. And that's a scary thing. It's a scary thought to deal with, you know. But I don't know anybody that don't like fried chicken, don't want to talk to them. But, you know, I like fried catfish too. But I like chicken and dumplings as well. So just you know. So anyways, there's a whole lot of things that keep on going on. And like I said, let's don't go back and refight wars. Okay? We're living in today. If you think that pulling down those statues and defacing the Stone Mountain and taking away these people's heritage. Okay, because that's what you're doing. All right, you are negating their heritage, and it's not about love and it's not about hate. It's about heritage. Okay, you want to claim one people's over another's, and that's wrong. All right, I am the most discriminated against person in the United States right now. I'm a straight white male. Okay? And you, whoever you are out there, you don't actually have an argument. You might have, okay, you get me, I have an argument. No, I'm not a victim. I refuse to be a victim. I absolutely refuse to be a victim. Okay? But that does not negate that to be the truth. Okay? Anyways, like I said, I refuse to be a victim. Oh, come on, man. I'm going to block you if you keep it up. You got one more. So, there we go. All right, there you went. Yeah, I tried. I don't really care. If all you want to do is be ugly, I don't got to put up with you. All right? Not a victim. Ain't trying to be a victim. All right? But the truth of the matter is, that's what I heard. I don't know. The truth of the matter is that I'm going to invite Tim. I'm going to let you come on and see if you got something to say. If you do, if you don't worry about it, man. Don't use no foul language, okay? If you can't use foul language, don't come on my live. You know what I'm saying? But there's a whole lot of what's going on right now. And all of it ain't cool. There's a lot of people that just ain't cool. They're not. They're going to sit around and they're looking for a fight. Why do you want to fight? Because here's the point, all right? For all the folks out there, the thing that they continually do is to send ways to divide us, because a unified America is what scares the Democrats to death. And a bunch of the Republicans, to be straight up and honest with you. Okay? The politicians in general. Because when we stand up arm in arm, then we're standing up for the commonality. What do we all have in common? What do we all have in common? Okay? We all want to eat. We all would like to be able to sleep safely. And we all would like to be able to raise our families. You know, if we've got families. We'd all like to live in relative safety. You know. Right? That's what the federal government was supposed to be about in the first place. Go back and read the dadgum Constitution. Read the Articles of Confederation. Read some of those old documents written by those guys that have passed away and they ain't there no more. Okay? Read some of them and see. Well, invite Mary. All right? Just read some of them and see. And if they're not there, okay, if you thinking, oh no. All right? Go back and read them. And what you will see is that, you know, I ain't going back and reading. I let him stay around too long, didn't I? I'm inviting her. Let's see who else we got to invite. Invite Jenna. Funky Mary. Okay. The invites, right? They don't necessarily have to come on. It's just one of them things. We do those sometimes. But, you know, we got people that do that. Just got no one. But that's okay. That's okay, Mary. That's fine. We've got so many people. Thank you very much. We've got so many people that don't understand history. And because they don't understand history, they never went back and studied republics. We're not a democracy, people. Okay? People don't, well, we're a democracy. And the Democrats, you hear them over and over, and they're reciting, well, you know, they're trying to take our democracy away. They're trying to take our democracy. No, we're not a democracy. Can't take it away. The Democrats are trying to bust the republic up. Okay? It's okay. Thank you, General. They're trying to bust the republic up and turn it into an absolute democracy, because when you turn it into an absolute democracy, that's the reason that Gavin Newsom in California is trying to get where the illegals can vote. He knows how they're going to vote. They're going to vote for the gimme something. Now, every one of them won't. Okay? All right? But 99.99% of them are going to vote for the gimme something party. Okay? We're a constitutional republic. That's exactly right. And but they keep on saying democracy, hoping that they will get this in the minds of people, and they have. I mean, I've been with people that they're educated and they simply are ignorant on this facet. They will say, well, you know, in our democracy, hold on a second, we're a constitutional republic, and they'll say, you got one hit, Jade. That was it, buddy. We're a constitutional republic. Okay? And you're like, okay, constitutional republic. What does it mean? Okay? It means that we have a democratic form of representation. We do elect our officials through a democratic form. We vote, all right? But we vote for these officials, and then you don't understand why they're always hollering that we are a republic. I'm explaining that to you now, 91, 94, because as a democracy, they can vote themselves the money out of the treasury. As a republic, they can't necessarily do. Here comes my girl, my other girl, my best girl from yonder. Hey, girl, how you feeling today? Okay.
I'm okay. Did you see the video I did? I did.
Yet, until we give ourselves over into the WEF and the WHO and the UN, and then they will. And then they will begin indicting and to further destroy and debase the United States. Okay? And according to the World Court, our presidents are all guilty of those things because in the bombing of military and strategic sites, we kill civilians. It always happens. Go back and look at every war, pretty much in history. The majority of the casualties are civilians in modern warfare. Now, back in the day when two armies met on the field and they shot each other, that was different. Okay, they don't do that no more. They're moving through and they destroy the village and the people because you might help my enemy, so they go ahead and destroy them. Okay, back and forth. I encourage y'all to share the video. But anyways, and that's about what I had to say. I'm pretty much done here today. Might do it later on. Might come on later on, anyways. But if I encourage you, I'm glad. If I made you mad, if I made you mad, it's because you listened to facts and got mad. I hate it for you. Okay. I do my number one best to stay positive, upbeat, and speak truth. I'll entertain other points of view, but I'm not going to allow you to get on here and think you're going to browbeat me. So, if I blocked you, I blocked you because you were being irreverent or unnecessarily ugly, in my opinion. And this is my page, so it gets to be my opinion this time. It's not that I don't love you. It's just that I can't. I feel like we got to get our message across, and you're detracting from it. If I was preaching, I wouldn't allow you to sit there and jump up and start screaming and hollering during the middle of my services and not have something done about it. So it's all the same thing. I love each and every one of you. I hope that God blesses you. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Maybe we'll go to live tonight at 10 o'clock. We will see. Take care, folks.